Hello, my name is Neil Cameron. I'm not here talking in front of you today because I am actually facilitating a support group for people with acquired brain injury in Berwick. I've been involved in self-advocacy and support groups for the last 20 years, setting up a support group on the Mornington Peninsula and then working very closely with Brain Injury Matters in Ross House. In the last 4 years we started United Brains, which is a networking group for acquired brain injury support and self-advocacy groups right throughout Victoria. With this networking group we really want to unite all support and self-advocacy groups so that we can share ideas with each other, share information, share what's working for each other, but most importantly get better understanding about acquired brain injury and how we deal with it. I apologise for reading my notes as memory is one of my disabilities. I have been an original member of NDIS Self-Advocacy Working Group since it started in 2010, where we discussed issues surrounding the introduction of NDIS. We sourced members representing groups from around the state, including Deafblind Victorians, Reinforce, Powerful Parents Self-Advocacy Group, New Wave, United Brains, Diversity and Disability, Compass Clubhouse, Peers Supporting Peers, Advocacy Support Southwest and DIM. The group was set up to make sure that people with an acquired brain injury, intellectual disability or with complex communication support have a real, not token choice and control in the development of their packages, and the principles of self-determination are adhered to. This aim is so important because so often as individuals we are told things provided to us are for our benefit. However, far too often these benefits are not what we are needing or wanting. The NDIS Working Group also wants to make sure that funding for self-advocacy groups is not lost and is hopefully expanded. This is important because groups receive minimal funding now, which mainly only allows them to exist. They cannot plan for events to run or participate in, as members of groups are mainly on DSP and all admin facilitating work is purely voluntary. The groups also want to make sure that self-advocacy groups and self-advocates have a role within the rollout of the NDIS. For example, providing training for workers and informing members about the NDIS and the rights within it. This is important because as training is rolled out, self-advocates would be able to give their own experience of care given by workers, and this would help prevent many of the issues encountered by people with disabilities. And finally, we believe self-advocacy groups should have the opportunity to input into decision making within the rollout of the NDIS. This is important because people with disabilities have a human right to inform the way their future is administrated. Some of the things NDIS Self-Advocacy Working Group have done over the last 2 years include running forums for decision makers, workers and CEOs about why self-advocacy matters and how self-advocates can make a voice in the NDIS. We have had meetings with Jackie Pearce, a very experienced worker in the field, Rhonda Galbelli, board member of NDIA, and Arthur Rogers, who is the Deputy Secretary NDIS, Reform and Director of Housing, and with very positive results. NDIS Self-Advocacy Working Group or a similar group is really important for all, as it will help members from associated groups to understand their future requirements with NDIS and will keep NDIS informed of needs for people with disabilities. The reason why United Group is so important is the way it unites all member groups and members of these groups to better understand their future and provides a voice for members to have NDIS provide a much better workable solution to the implementation of services and service providers. With this group in place, associated group reps can provide feedback to their groups and table questions their group members may have. This way, we are not only recognising people with disabilities as an equitable part of our society, we are establishing a working relationship with all people living in Australia, as after all, NDIS is in place to assist, not determine our future. I'd like to end now with a strong request to all people with a disability to support this group so we can strengthen our future. I believe that we need to know each other and build on our strengths to fully establish a fairer society. I'd also like to ask all service providers to work with us as we have a lived experience and want to answer questions you have. I know you choose your profession with a passion and also know that you want to listen to ways to help us live together better. Please seek our help in your continued training. Finally, I'm congratulating bureaucrats in the audience for participating in this conference. I would like to ask for deeper recognition. Over the years, I have noticed changes in attitudes towards disabilities and congratulate these improvements. For example, I have seen Centrelink recognise acquired brain injury as a disability, which it previously treated as a sickness. My greatest request for all bureaucrats is for them to get to know a person with a disability and understand their life. Pick one group, work with it and gain a personal understanding. I also ask politicians to do the same. Become passionate about people with a disability. Choose a group to work with. With this request, I'm not asking for a token once off. I'm asking for a lifetime commitment as people with a disability have a lifetime commitment. Thank you.